All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take Sharp and Shapiro. Pat Casella in studio as well. By the way, quick reminder, tomorrow, we were just talking a little UNLV football off the air. UNLV head coach Tony Sanchez will be joining us. You want to talk about a must-win, and I know it's early in the year, week 2. They have to beat Arkansas State this Saturday at Sam Boyd. It's a must-win if they really want to make a bowl game, in my opinion. So Tony Sanchez will be joining us tomorrow. Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports as well. And, of course, we're taking your phone calls at 257-5396. Real quickly, I want to bring this story to light. We were talking a lot about the straight pride parade that took place in Boston. I think it's a bunch of morons out there mocking, the gay community. And I think it's pretty evident if there weren't gay pride parades, there certainly would have been a straight pride parade. So don't give me this garbage that people who are straight, they're looked down upon because they're straight and, this sort of stuff. Give me a break. Make no mistake about it. It was a complete mockery to people who are gay. So the guy that has been the head of the conversion therapy stuff, he is the founder of conversion therapy. He has been a leader in homophobic programs for decades. Well, guess what, folks? It turns out that he has now come out publicly as a gay man. What a shocker. And when you look at the people across the country who are the most anti-gay people and homophobic people, usually, not always, usually, they're the ones that are gay, and they're afraid to be themselves, and they're the ones that are not comfortable in their own skin. Listen, I would assume Mike Pence is straight. To be honest with you, I really don't care. But Mike Pence has been anti-gay for a very, very long time, and his policies and the way he's voted proves that. And now this guy, his name is McKrae, the man who founded one of the largest conversion therapy programs in the country and led the homophobic organization for 20 years. Now he comes out as gay. Back in 99, in his Truth Ministry, he talked about religion. He talks about faith. He talked about how to change someone's sexuality in the LGBTQ community. He talked about counseling, interventions, and ministry, and how horrible it is to be a homosexual. He's talked about that time and time and time again. So the man who has been the head of this for 20 years comes out as gay. I find that to be very, very interesting. And we've talked a lot about the straight pride parades that took place in Boston over the weekend. And I've said it before, and I don't support violence. I don't support Antifa. I think those people who showed up at the march were wrong. There were over 30 arrests. Make no mistake about it, that was wrong. And I'm not making the argument.
Were they wrong, or are they terrorists?
They committed crimes. So whether they're a terrorist organization or not, I don't know the answer to that. What I do know is that, I'll say it again, I don't support violence. I don't support what they did. But with that being said, make no mistake about it, I'm not saying they don't have the right to march. Anybody has the right to march. It is their First Amendment right to do that. I'm not saying that either. You can go on the side of a sidewalk in public, right outside this station, and say, I hate gay people. You have the First Amendment right to do that. I wouldn't advise you do it. I would call you a homophobe and some other horrible words. You have the right to do it. And yes, I think if you wake up in the morning and you're straight, arguably, and you decide to go to a straight pride parade, I personally believe you've got a lot of issues. And I also believe there is a chance that you are homophobic. And I also believe you're doing it, and you're doing it for the reason of the gay community and putting them down for them having their gay pride parade. And I'm not going to change.
What about religion?
What about religion?
A lot of these people have don't they have a religious right not to accept?
So what about live your life?
They generally speaking, we do. If you're straight and you're religious,
if you're religion,
Brian, what if this was a parade? What if it was Christians or straight Christians? What if it was a straight Christian parade? Would you have a problem with that?
Here's what I personally believe when it comes to that stuff.
Christians for Heterosexuality is the title of the parade. Would that be an issue?
Here's what I believe.
Or is that a slap in the face too?
I believe that if your religion tells you to look down upon somebody else because of their sexuality, then you should probably find another religion. Now that's your right.
I got to tell you something. I have never heard in Catholic Church or general Christian church where they look down on anybody. I mean,
not true. I've been to church before, believe it or not. I was dating a girl who was religious, and she took me to church. It was actually a church in Las Vegas. And the priest who was up there was talking about homosexuality and how horrible it was, and he used a gay slur. And you know what I did, Pat? You know what I did after he used this gay slur? Look, I'm a straight guy.
Walked out.
No, I'll tell you what I did. I waited till the end, and I addressed him, and I said, you are disgusting. There are kids.
Now, this was a Catholic church?
Yes. I said, you are disgusting. By the way, Michael Jackson's father was actually at this church. I went up to him. I said, you're disgusting. And he said, excuse me? I said, yeah, you used a gay slur. There are kids here. We should be looking at everyone as equals. Now, if you disagree with their lifestyle, that's fine. That's your right. But for you to use a gay slur like that as a man of God, I said, you are disgusting.
I commend you for that.
You are disgusting. And he looked at me with this stare. He didn't say, because he's a coward. Okay? He's a coward.
I would commend you for that. I don't think that's right either, but at the same time, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a heterosexual. I don't think there's anything wrong with standing up there and saying, I'm proud to be a heterosexual.
Nothing wrong with that
Okay,
at all.
so let me ask you a question.
Especially in the United States, when you're leveraging your right of assembly. That's all you're doing.
So let me ask you a question.
There could be a Caucasian parade. There could be an African-American parade. There could be a Mexican-American parade. There could be a million type parades.
You guys are missing the point.
It is legal, and it's not a slap in the face to anybody.
I didn't say it was illegal, JD. I don't know why you keep bringing that up.
You're saying it's an intended slap in the face. I'm saying it's not.
Okay, so you're mean to tell me that you guys mean to tell me that all these people that showed up in this parade, this straight parade. Hold on, let me finish my question. All these people that showed up in this straight parade over the weekend, you mean to tell me all of them had good intentions and it was nothing against the gay community? Can you two honestly say that?
The gay community came out and started the fights, right?
Why do you think they even showed up for the straight pride parade?
If I were gay, I would have
celebrate the fact that you're straight.
A terrorist organization, tried to intimidate and create fear in the people that were running the parade.
And as I've said over and
which
over,
is the definition of terrorism. By
as
the way.
I have said over and over and over again, I don't condone violence and I don't condone what they did. I don't know why you keep bringing that up.
Right.
What I'm trying.
But you also changed the question. You said, "Are all the people?" I don't know. In the hearts of everyone who attended that parade.
Have straight people been oppressed?
I don't know. I don't know in the hearts of everyone that attended that parade if they are gay haters.
Have straight people been oppressed?
Or sure they have.
Oh, come on.
Brian, I'm still answering your question, so don't ask me a question until I answer this question first. You can ask me that after I answer this question. But I don't know if in their hearts that they were trying to mock the gay community.
Exactly.
It's possible a couple were, but I'm not going to make an all-encompassing statement and say just because you attended this that you absolutely you intended, this was premeditated. You are trying to mock the gay community. And guess what, Brian? The gay pride parade was not the first parade in the history of the world.
Are you familiar?
They didn't invent parades.
Okay, well,
there's been parades for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. I did a little research on this parade. Are you familiar with the person that put this parade together?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so do you know a little bit about his background on the anti-gay remarks that he's made? Do you have an idea of what he said about homosexuals?
Okay, so is it possible that maybe 10 or 15 or 20 people who attended the parade were mocking homosexuals? Yes, but were they all? No.
This is the man who was the organizer of this entire thing.
That doesn't mean that everyone was mocking homosexuals.
He's got a lot of followers.
But wait a minute. You ever get the idea, though, as a heterosexual, it's very tiresome to always be the bad guy?
Constantly.
We're the bad guys. I'm not sitting there saying I support anti-gay anything. I'm just sitting there saying a lot of times
I've never said that.
I'm not saying you did, but there are people out there that want to jam things down people's throats. This is acceptable.
Nobody's ever jammed. Nobody's
Brian,
ever jammed anything down my throat. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a little graphic, but Brian, this is
that's not what I meant. I'm being serious.
Okay, this is all about attention. The backlash is because heterosexuals are now bringing attention to themselves, because for the last 30 or 40 years, these oppressed homosexuals have been bringing attention to themselves by throwing these parades, where things like, we had a caller named Alex calling yesterday. He said that, at a parade, I was with my kid and one of them had a dildo. And my kid was freaked out and didn't know what was going on in a public place.
Which not many people in the gay community do that. That's inappropriate.
But there are some flamboyant homosexuals who do that stuff, just like there are some heterosexuals who probably were mocking the homosexuals.
To me, that's not relevant to this conversation.
How is it not? That's
because there's
possible.
A very small percentage of people that do inappropriate things that happen to be gay.
And there's a very small percentage that were trying to mock the homosexual community by attending the parade. It goes both ways, Brian.
In the history,
how does it not go both ways?
So you're talking to me in the history of this country. You think that homosexuals have been oppressed and straight people have been oppressed, and it's very similar. Is that what you're saying?
That has absolutely nothing to do. Now, that actually is irrelevant to what we're talking about.
No, it's completely irrelevant.
That's completely irrelevant.
It's completely irrelevant because they're making it out that they're victims. Straight people are victims.
So you're trying to make an all-encompassing statement that everyone who attended that
Didn't
parade.
say everyone. You're putting words in my mouth. Never said that.
You did say that.
Never said everyone.
You said everyone that attended that. It was a giant slap in the face to homosexuals. And that's not the case.
I think it absolutely was.
It's possible that some were mocking homosexuals, but I don't think that they all were. And I have no problem, as a citizen of the United States who has constitutional rights, with the right of assembly being one of those rights, to do something like that.
peaceful
well,
assembly.
exactly.
And in Boston, of all places.
I think it's a joke.
And in Boston,
I think it's a joke.
That's a very. Now, if this was in San Francisco, maybe the argument gets a little more.
I think it's a joke.
Maybe.
I think it's a joke, and it's a mockery of homosexuality. And the reason why I say that is because in the history of this country, nobody has looked at someone as being straight and looked down upon them because they are straight. It's idiotic to me to think that way.
How do you know that homosexuals don't look down on heterosexuals for being heterosexual?
I'll tell you what.
Because you aren't homosexual, right?
I'm straight.
So you can't answer that question.
Yes, I can. I'm straight, and I've never had anybody gay come up to me and look down upon me, or even anybody in my life. Oh, my God, you're straight, and look down upon me. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I've been in a few gay bars in my life, accidentally, but I have, and I was treated with respect, and I had no issues. Let me take some phone calls on this. 257-5396 is the number to call. 702-257-5396. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Who do you agree with in regards to this straight pride parade? Let's start with Lewis. Lewis, what's going on?
What's up, Lewis?
Hey, guys. Look, man, it works both ways. If you can have a straight parade, or you can have a gay pride parade, you can have a straight parade.
I didn't say you couldn't. I didn't say you couldn't, Lewis. They're perfectly within their rights to have a straight pride parade. I believe that many of them that did this straight pride parade are mocking homosexuality, and I believe that's exactly why they did it. And ask yourself this question. If they haven't had gay pride parades, do you think they would have had this straight parade?
Look, I don't care because I don't look at it that deep. Who cares?
Well,
I think you're looking at it too deeply. And here's the thing, man. The problem with the gay agenda, if you will, is if you don't embrace all of it, you're looked at as a homophobe.
Not true. Not true. No, I disagree. I disagree.
Okay, you can disagree, but I'm going to tell you right now. Personally speaking, I have a nephew who's trans, and he wanted to know how I felt about his community. And you know what? I said, I don't care what happens in your community. I don't care about anything in your community. I care about you, and I love you, period, end of
But
story.
that's, Lewis, that's you because you sound like a decent human being. There are a lot of people out there, particularly people on the way right, Mike Pence is a perfect example of that, our vice president, who looks...
But there's nothing wrong with Mike Pence because he doesn't want to have dinner with other women, you know...
That's not what I'm referring to. Do you know where his wife works at? Are you aware that his wife works at a school that does not allow homosexuals to work there or go to school there? Are you aware that Mike Pence, over the course of the last 10 to 15 years...
And what is wrong with that?
What is wrong with that? It's called discrimination. That's what's wrong with it.
It is discrimination, but it's private, exactly.
Okay, so
I'm not sure it should be legal, but it is.
I bring up this argument all the time, and I'll bring it up again. Would you have a problem with David Duke opening up a KKK school in Las Vegas?
I sure would.
Do I have a problem with it?
But Brian, here's the difference there.
I'm asking him.
Right to do with it. He has every right to do it, and I don't have a problem.
You don't have a problem with a KKK school being built in Las Vegas? That is absurd.
You know what?
That is
Totally
insane.
Being American is.
No, here's
Part of being American is being racist. Is that what you're? Okay,
No,
Lewis.
I'm not racist.
All right, Lewis. No, Lewis.
Here's the difference, Lewis. This school that Mike Pence's wife works at doesn't condone violence towards homosexuals. David Duke's school would condone violence towards African Americans.
No, but
that's the difference, and that's why I would have a problem with David Duke.
It does look down upon homosexuality, and the reason why I bring up the guy that is the leader of this parade that you are talking about, that you are defending, is because the leader of this parade, the organizer.
I'm not
you're
defending
not
anything.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you were aware of the hatred of the organizer of this parade, and I'm just trying to give you a little bit of background on what this parade stands for. This is the guy that has done all these TV appearances and radio appearances. This is the guy that is promoting this parade, and he has promoted hatred, and I don't know if you were aware of that. When you make the statement that only 15 to 20 people maybe hate homosexuals, that's ridiculous.
I'm not going to make the all-encompassing statement that everyone who attended that parade is mocking homosexuals.
I didn't say everybody. I said the organizer of the parade.
So 80%, 90%?
I don't know an exact percentage, but I would say when the organizer of a parade that has put a lot of people together and organized this thing and a lot of people behind him that has said totally anti-gay remarks and hatred towards homosexuality, I would begin to tell you that there's a lot of people more than you think that are against homosexuality that are there for that reason and that reason alone. The number 257-5396. Again, 257-5396. Let's go to Alex. Alex, what's going on?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Hey,
What's up?
listen, Brian, you said you accidentally went into a gay bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. Were you the cute guy that came up to me? I'm just kidding, Brian.
Very funny, Alex.
I'm
Yes,
just
I
kidding,
was.
Brian.
No, I was
I'm
hitting
kidding,
on your
Brian.
wife. I was hitting on your wife instead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
Listen. You know, one thing I have to say. I'm going to repeat it again. You're both of you guys do a good job informing people. So, Brian, if possibly that guy that was the head of the
Yes.
straight pride is a bad guy.
Yes, sir.
He doesn't like homosexuals. Then yeah, I'm against that.
Mhm.
I don't know the details.
Well, Alex, here's what I'll tell you. This man has made appearances on CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. He's been on a gazillion radio shows. And when you look at his past history remarks and the things he said about homosexuality, they are utterly disgusting. Now, the reason why I bring him up, even though he's only one person, he put, I don't want to say militia, but he put a lot of people together to form this parade. And when you have a guy that is the leader, make no mistake about it, he is the leader of this parade, and he is so hateful against homosexuality. I'm sorry, but you have to say that I would imagine a lot of people at this parade are followers of him.
Yeah, you know something. I have to say one thing. It's unfortunate if that's a fact, that guy's a negative person, then that's no good. However, I must say that my wife, she's from Mexico, and she told me many years ago that she would tell me, Alex, you have to understand that people infiltrate groups to make that particular group look bad. So in this case, possibly this leader is just part of the agenda to cause division in the country.
I can't. Yeah, well, perhaps I can't speak for that, Alex. All I can say is, and again, I speak for myself on this one. I don't care what your sexuality is. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your race is. Unfortunately, there are some bad people in the world that look down upon others based on their sexuality. Yeah. I don't care. I don't want to see two men making out on a street corner, just as I don't want to see a man and a woman groping each other on the street corner either. Do it. It's your private business. I don't need to see it.
Two thumbs up for what you just said. I just wish the gay organizers would stop some of these parades, because that's what's causing all the division. Really, that's my opinion.
Well, I think people, you have to understand, Alex, one thing, and it's hard to put yourself in those shoes. I can't either. But your whole life, and I would imagine, people are brought up, sometimes their parents, look down upon homosexuality, and these kids are afraid to come out. Their whole life, they're afraid to be themselves. They're uncomfortable in their own skin. I can't imagine how difficult that must be. And finally, maybe they come to some sort of organization where they can be accepted and be themselves. I don't blame them for doing that, Alex. I'm not going to criticize them for having these gay parades, because in the history of this country, homosexuals have been looked down upon, sadly. And if you are straight in this country, you're not looked down upon because you're a man and you like a woman. You're not looked down upon if you're a woman and you like a man. You could be comfortable in your sexuality, but not if you're a homosexual.
When you look at what you're talking about here,
just trying to tone it down a little bit is what I'm saying, because it's really kind of in your face by all these parades. I mean, they should, if they could have,
parades, commercials.
You're gonna laugh, but I've been to these parades by accident myself too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking down the street and hear, hey, what's this parade? I watch this, and it's too much.
Wait, hold on a second, Alex.
You don't have to be in a G-string out there with high heels.
Well, would you say that about a stripper?
I don't think a stripper should be out there either.
In a strip club?
Well,
or in public.
Walking down the street?
But they're in a club.
Alex, Alex, here's why I need to contact Mike Pence, because I'm very concerned about you. Like Mike Pence would be concerned about you. You just said you accidentally have been in some gay bars, and you just said accidentally you were at the gay parade. I'm going to call Mike Pence. We're going to see if we can give you some conversion therapy.
Brian, are you being judgmental towards homosexuals right now?
Yeah, I'm going to.
No, actually.
Okay.
I'm just taking after Mike Pence right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You guys have a good one. You have a good day.
All right, thanks, Al.
You guys are bombarding me.
All right, thanks, Al.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Alex.
Have a good day.
But as a father of three, a grandfather as well, any of my children would come home and tell me they were homosexual or gay. Mm-hmm. Gay is the right word. I would say, I love you.
Pat, you're
I'll
a good.
Embrace you.
Okay, but Pat,
wait a minute.
I know you. You're a good man.
But I'm not going to sit here and say I'll be happy for it. I'm not going to be breakdancing. But at the same time, I understand that it's a lifestyle. I will also sit here and tell you that we are living in a world. The United States diversity is amazing, and it's amazing how we're constantly getting slack in the press and the news. But if you go to a Muslim nation and you're openly gay, you die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's horrible.
Right. So, I mean, our country is so we tolerate so much.
Well, to an
we're always
extent.
talking about how bad we really are.
To an extent. We got to take a quick break.
This is the best country in the world, and it's not even a conversation. It's not even close.
Not even close.
I have never argued that, but that doesn't mean that there aren't things in this country that we can do better.
But it's not perfect, and it never will be, Brian.
Okay, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't do
happen.
anything about it.
Things happen. People die. It's a cycle of life.
Okay, I'm not sure what that has to do with the gay pride parade and the straight parade, but I mean, I think that there are things in this country that we can do to improve ourselves and treat people with a little bit more respect. That's
but a
all I'm
straight
saying.
parade is not a bad thing.
And it's completely legal.
I never said it was illegal. I don't know why you keep bringing that up.
But it's not a bad thing.
I've stated my case of what I think about some of these people and the leader of this parade.
There are buttholes everywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly true. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. Pat Cassell joining us in studio. Sharp and Shapiro, it is the Vegas Take. Coming up here in just a few minutes, Fran Riordan is the manager of the Las Vegas Aviators. Playoffs start tonight. He'll be joining us here in just a few minutes. You're listening to the Vegas Take, the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.